Hey, good morning, cookers. Today I'm going to be making for you one of my favorite comfort foods, hash browns and sausage gravy. Oh, and before I forget, if this is your first time on my channel, please be sure to smash that subscribe button and hit the bell so you'll always be notified when I publish my next video. And if you like this video, please share it with your friends. Let's start by peeling 2 washed and dried russet potatoes. And let's see if we can speed this up a little bit. That's better. We're also going to need 1/2 of a large sweet white onion, 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter, 1/2 tablespoon of salt and pepper, and a 1/2 teaspoon of smoked paprika. Somehow my cameras got out of sync here for just a few seconds. And let's clean up our space a little bit. Using a cheese grater, shred the potatoes into a large bowl. And let's see if we can speed this part up a little bit too. I started getting worried about my knuckles getting scraped up. So I took a fork, I inserted it into the potato, and used it as a potato holder while I grated the rest of the potatoes. When I got down to just a little bit of the potato left, I didn't want to ruin my grater with the fork, so I just went on to the second potato. Okay, let's clean up our area a little bit and get those hash browns in a bowl. And now we can start grating that second potato. And let's get the rest of these potatoes into the bowl. And again, let's clean up our area a little bit. We want to fill the bowl with cold water and stir until the water is cloudy. We're going to drain it into another bowl, and then we're going to keep repeating this process, each time using fresh, cold water. We're trying to get rid of some of that excess starch that we don't necessarily need in these hash browns. When the water is clear, then drain the potatoes and pat them dry with paper towels and squeeze out any excess moisture. You can see here how cloudy the water is. We want to keep repeating this until that water is clear. I had to do this process 3 times before I got to the clear water that I was looking for. As you can see here, I was pretty happy. Next, we're going to dice the onion. We're going to start by cutting off an end and cutting it in half because we only need half an onion. Throw that away. Okay, Oh, and we need to peel it. There we go. I'm going to make 3 horizontal cuts into the onion. Trying to be very careful and not take off any fingers. The professional guys make this look so much easier. Now I'm going to make a lot of vertical cuts. Then I can just chop straight down, and I have perfectly diced onions. And we can just throw that part away. And let's clean up our space again by getting those onions into a bowl and setting it aside for now. We can add the butter to the pan and let that start melting. Once the butter is melted and fully covers the bottom of the pan, we can add our onions into the pan and start sweating them. This will take about 10 minutes. Just keep moving the onions around to different areas of the pan. Make sure everything gets fried evenly. After about 10 minutes of sweating the onions, we can now sprinkle in our potatoes. Try to evenly cover the bottom of the pan with our potatoes. And spread them out to make sure that we're evenly covering our pan so that everything cooks consistently. I then press them down slightly with a spatula so that more of the potatoes make contact with the heated pan. Now we're going to mix our salt and pepper together a little bit just by shaking it, and then we're going to add it onto our potatoes. And we'll do the same with the paprika. Once the bottom sides of our potatoes start getting crispy, we can start flipping them over. Once our hash browns are nice and crispy, we'll move them onto a plate, cover them with a paper towel, and move them to the side while we work on our sausage gravy. For our sausage gravy, we're going to need 4 sausage patties, 1½ tablespoon of AP flour, 1 tablespoon of butter, 1 cup of whole milk, half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of onion powder, and half a teaspoon of black pepper. We're going to start our prep by cutting our sausage into small pieces and then breaking up those pieces into our skillet. Let's move our stove cam up into the big screen so we can see things a little bit better. We're going to keep moving the sausage around until it's fully cooked. This is where we're going to add in our butter and flour and basically make a sausage-roux. I sprinkle in a little bit of flour at a time to get it fully incorporated. Once it's all mixed together, we can then add our whole milk. Once we've poured the milk on, we want to start stirring. We can also add our salt, pepper, and onion powder at this point. Once we can run our spatula through the gravy and we can leave trails, we know that it's starting to thicken. And once it starts to thicken, we can turn the heat off and just let it sit by itself for 2 minutes to let it thicken on its own. Okay, now that our gravy is done, let's move the camera back to the bottom right-hand corner. Now that we've let it thicken up on its own for 2 minutes, now we can get it onto our hash browns. And now for the taste test. All I can say is, wow. Thanks for watching. And again, if this is your first time on my channel, be sure to smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when I publish my next video. And if you like this video, please share it with your friends.